What's up, you guys? It's Matt here. So I wanted to talk about GameStop in this video because a lot of people did not like what I had to say in my last video. If you didn't know, I sold all of my shares of GME. Now I only had 100 shares of GME. This was something that I got into way after the fact of when I first started, when it came to talking about all of this AMC and GME and meme stocks and Wall Street bets and all that stuff. I invested in AMC first, but I decided to sell my GME stock. And a lot of people got confused, basically saying that people followed me off of the GameStop situation, which I really, rarely talked about that. Yes, I did talk about GameStop a little bit and give people my insights and let them know that I was invested in AMC, not GME. And I told them why I was invested in GameStop, or I was invested in AMC over GameStop. Then when GameStop dropped down to about $200, I said that I would monitor it, and if it did get below $200, that I would see that as an entry point as long as I see it's not being oversold. And it still wasn't being oversold, so it continued to drop down slightly. It went up, down, up, down. It was actually being a little bit volatile, but collapsing down for the most part. And I seen that it got to about $70, $70, $75, $76. I invested at $76 thinking that it was going to be at the bottom because I did see a larger green candle bar, thinking it was going to go up, and it made no sense why people wouldn't invest at these lower lows, right? But it continued to go down, and you could see that I had multiple opportunities to get out. And this is where a lot of people see my channel and they throw a bunch of comments out there saying that, people subscribe to your channel because they were invested in this whole GME situation, and if you're losing money, they're going to pull out, your paper hands, all of this other stuff. The whole reason that I pulled out and I actually even invested in there was based on a strategy. It wasn't based on the fact that I wanted it to go to the moon, right? I didn't think that GME had a second wind. I think that they had a couple of pops, which I've said multiple times that they're not going to sit here and go to the moon. And I still don't think that they're going to go to the moon unless we somehow get a ton of volume in there, which could possibly happen. And if they do, then good for them. I'm not going to be a person that's salty. Yes, I will be upset with the fact that I did get out of it, but I'm not going to be a person that eats me alive, basically. I'm going to continue to push forward, invest in the next position, make money or lose money. It depends what it is, but you know what? I will be disciplined. I will stick by my strategy. So this is the whole reason for it. So I bought into GME with the thought that I would be at $76, move up to $79, sell at a $300 gain, and that would be my quick day trade for the day. Well, in that day, it got up to $79 and I set my limit order, but it did not get me out of that position. So that happens a lot where you don't get pulled out of a position and then you have to continue to, invest. And since it is such a lower position, I wanted to gain $3 out of it. It pulled back pretty fast. So I really didn't have any chance to do that. I really set just a limit order knowing that it will go up, but it didn't fill my order. So that was a mistake in my part, not getting out at $1, not accepting a $1 gain and just accepting any gain for that matter. That was one mistake. So then I decided to hold on to it for the rest of the day to see if it did pull back, and told myself that my normal strategy, I get out during that day. Well, I did not get out during that day. I actually held for the rest of the day. I believe it got to the next day to where it actually pushed up to $95. And it was slowly, or it was going up, and it actually stopped a couple of times. It got suspended because it was increasing way too fast, right? So when that actually happened, I seen how fast it was going up. It had no chance of stopping. So I was basically said, you know what, I'm going to set my limit order for $96. It actually only went up to $95 that day and then pulled back. So that was another mistake because I didn't set a trailing stop, which is my problem, right? I should have set something. And this just confirmed the fact that I wasn't following my strategy. When you don't follow your strategy, everything else really just goes out the window, and it's not something that you want to have happen. This is why people trade in simulators all the time, because you want to stick by your strategy. And if you're not doing that, then you're going to notice that you are losing money and you're starting to think on the fly. It's just not going over well. And that's what happened. And I was like, okay, so I'm just going to hold on to this for a long time. Then I realized that as I'm holding on to this for a long time, it continues to push up the amount that I need to gain in order to make this a profitable trade, because every day I could have made at least $100. So every day that I'm holding on to this, that's an increase of $100 of that profit target while the stock price is actually going down. Noticing that I can't get to this, I should have actually sold at the point to where it went up to about $1,000 loss, but that was like strike three. It was icing on the cake, and I noticed that I'm not going to end up accepting this. And if I do not accept it right now, I'm going to end up accepting it at a way lower point, and it's going to drive me insane. So I decided to accept it at $3,000 because it shows me that I'm being disciplined. No matter what the actual loss is, I'm being disciplined. No matter what the stock goes to, if it goes to $78 or $90, whatever, it shows me that I stuck by a strategy. And now I can get back into understanding what my strategy is and be as disciplined as I should have been in the first place. Because this would have never been that bad of a loss. It would have been a $100 gain or $200 gain, not a $300 gain because it didn't sell me out at that position. But I could have sold at a market order, got out at $200 of a gain or $100, and then I would have had basically close to my profit target. But I decided not to do that. So where people are saying, oh, I hope this doesn't go to the moon, I hope it does. For all the people that are holding and that have lost a ton of money from that $400 mark or $300 mark, I hope it does go to the moon for you guys. I'm not going to feel salty. I'll feel upset with the fact that I got out, but it's not going to be something that kills me. It's going to be something that pushes me forward to understand that if I stuck by my strategy, I would have had a $200 profit, and basically I would be $3,200 up rather than being down $3,000 on this position. You understand what I mean? So all of this whole channel is not based on getting into a meme stock and gambling. This is about understanding your strategy, sticking by your strategy, and being able to understand what your loss limits are and what your profit limits are. So that's what this is all about. And I don't want to cloud this with anything else, saying that I'm paper hands. If that's what you classify me as, then classify me as paper hands. If you want to unsubscribe, then please unsubscribe. I'm not going to hold you back. You hold all the power to subscribe or unsubscribe from a channel. And if you feel as though I'm not delivering in what you wanted this channel to be, then please unsubscribe. I don't want to hold anybody hostage when it comes to that case. So that's what I wanted to get off my chest. I wanted to talk about GameStop because what I talk about, and a lot of people have come out and said, hey, you talk about AMC and GME a lot. That's because I had positions. Now I'm talking about GME because I left these positions, and people are drawing me back in because I have to continually talk about why I left this position, when it should be known that you stick by a strategy. And if you don't stick by that strategy, then you suffer huge losses. And this could be a bigger loss for somebody else. $3,000 to somebody else would be a huge loss. $3,000 to me is not something I'm going to end trading off of. No, that's not going to be the case. I'm going to take that loss. It is substantial compared to how much I gain, because I usually go for $100 or $200 a day, but I can typically go for $1,000 or $2,000 a day if I wanted to. So that's really what I wanted to get off my chest. Hopefully you guys enjoy my channel. Hopefully we can talk about different positions as we go along. I'm still holding AMC, so that's not anything that's going out the window yet. But make sure you check out any video I have on AMC, and if I do any future videos on GME, then make sure you check those out as well. But that's my video, guys. Thank you so much for being subscribed, for liking, for commenting, all the things that people do, whether it's positive or negative. I appreciate any of the opinions. Just make sure the opinions are based on logic. And if you say something before you watch the whole video, make sure that you do understand what the rest of the video says, because I might end up going over it in the later half of the video. So thank you again for watching. I appreciate it. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. And if you want free stocks, check out the link for Webull down below. You'll also be able to use the platform that I use. But I'm going to get out of here, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.